अच्छा ग्रिड भी उड़े कोई കാണുന്നില്ല
थ्री डॉट्स पे क्लिक करना है। डॉट्स पे क्लिक करने के बाद यहाँ पे आपको रिकॉर्डिंग की ऑप्शन शो होगी। तो उसके लिए क्या करना है, उसके लिए आपने ओपन करने के बाद यहाँ पे टाइप करना है admin.google.com।
तो फिर नो टैब admin.google.com അച്ഛൻ സൈൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല.
यहाँ से आप डायरेक्ट
പിന്നെ ചെയ്തോട്ടെ, ഇപ്പൊ സമയമില്ല. google.com ആടി അവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്നത്. അത് തന്നെയാണ് കിടന്നത്. നെറ്റ്
അച്ഛനെ പിൻ ചെയ്തു.
എന്നെ പിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലേ. മൊബൈൽ ഇട്ടേക്കടെ. ജീവിനെ കൂട്ടാം, മൂന്നെണ്ണം കൂട്ടാം. ഉണ്ട്. മൗസ് അത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല, സർവീസ് ചെയ്യിപ്പിക്കണം.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. I'm audible.
Okay.
ഇതിന്റെ സൗണ്ട് പോകുന്നില്ലേ? Think.
We could say 56 participants. Here it is raining. Shalini.
Good evening, madam. Madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. You are audible.
And Shalini, you can start recording when the program starts, okay? We will wait for a while. 66 students have joined.
68 total, but in and now 70. സമയമായല്ലോ. എൻ്റെ നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ഇടയ്ക്ക് പോകുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. അതിവിടെ വെച്ചു. ഗുഡ് ഈവനിങ്. ഇവിടെ നെറ്റ് ഒത്തിരി സ്ലോ ആണ് മേഡം, ഒരു പ്രശ്നമുണ്ട് ഇടയ്ക്ക്.
എനിക്കും ഉണ്ട് സാറേ, ഇവിടെ ഭയങ്കര ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് റെയിനിങ് ഹാർഡ് നൗ.
ഇവിടെ സെയിം തിങ്.
സ്പീക്ക് ആൻഡ് പവർ ഇന്ററപ്ഷൻ, പവർ പോയി വരുക.
സെയിം പ്രോബ്ലം ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്, ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് എന്റെ മീറ്റ് കട്ടായി പോകുന്നു.
ഞാൻ ഐ എം വറീഡ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഐ എം ആൾസോ ട്രൈങ് ടു സ്റ്റാർട്ട് അനദർ സിസ്റ്റം. പവർ പോകുന്ന സമയമേ പവർ പോയി വരുന്നു. ഇവിടെ ആക്ച്വലി നെറ്റ് ഫെയർലി ഗുഡ് ആണ്. Hello, madam. Good evening. I could see you.
Yeah, I still hear you. Sadish, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Almost everybody joined. Good evening, Stella madam. Almost everybody joined, madam.
Yes, sir, all the students have joined.
So let us start a little earlier. No problem, madam.
Okay,
madam.
We'll start. Shalini, you can start recording. So let us start the meeting. Affable Madam Sino George, our alumnus.
It's working.
Am I audible?
Yes, madam. I will pin you, madam.
Madam Sino George, the road model for today's VIGYAN JYOTI program, and Mr. Satish Kumar, the VIGYAN JYOTI coordinator of JNV Ernakulam, and VIGYAN JYOTI scholars of JNV Ernakulam. Warm greetings to all of you. I am indeed delighted to see you all through this online meeting. As you all know, the entire world is reeling under the COVID-19 pandemic, and the situation in India is quite grim. We are going through a big crisis. The schools, colleges are closed down. Lockdown has been imposed in many states. Despite these hurdles, thanks to technology, we have been able to keep our Vigyan Jyoti scholars fruitfully engaged through a series of meetings. The last 10 days itself, we have conducted 2 meetings, and this is the 3rd meeting they are having. And as you all are aware, this Vigyan Jyoti program, this has been launched by, it's an ambitious project which is launched to empower the girl children, to promote the girls, meritorious girls, to guide them, to help them to take up career options in the field of STEM areas, say science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. As of now, the statistics say that only 14% of the entire scientists and research scholars of India are women. The rest are men. So this skewed ratio has to be balanced in some way. So the government is taking initiative to promote more and more deserving, meritorious girls to take up fields in research-oriented areas, STEM disciplines. And this program, this Vigyan Jyoti program, is one of the programs that is focused on that. And we have enrolled 100 girls, 50 girls from 11th class and 50 girls from 9th class have been enrolled for this program. We are having many programs under the ambit of this Vigyan Jyoti, and one of the programs, a very important program, is a role model interaction. And we have, actually I was on the lookout for a role model for quite some time. Unfortunately, I have come across Madam Sino George, who is a worthy role model for our girls. The thing that makes it special is she is one of the alumnus of JNV Ernakulam, and she has been brought up in the same background, just like our Vigyan Jyoti scholars. And she has also been in the residential setup, just like you, some years back. And what sets her apart is she had the will to pursue her dreams, and she had the passion, tenacity to come out of her comfort zone, to go abroad, to go to the areas that are quite unknown to her, to pursue her dreams. So, and she must have had that grit, that determination, tenacity to pursue her goals. Of course, any journey that takes people to the top, that must have been strewn with lots of setbacks, roadblocks, but she must have fought them bravely, and she has reached now a very successful position in her life. And so she is somebody you can look up to, she is somebody who is worthy of emulation for all our Vigyan Jyoti scholars. And I'll give a gist of her biodata. She is an alumnus of 4th batch 1996, and she has done her engineering in electronics from College of Engineering, Chenganur. And later she did her Master of Science in Computer Science at Fairleigh Dickinson University, New Jersey. And presently she is working as Manager of Policyholder Services in IT Department of New York State Insurance Fund. So it must have been an exciting and challenging journey for you, madam. And I am sure listening to you will definitely motivate our girls to take up challenging careers, to aspire high in their life. And we are looking forward to listen to your story of, your successful story of journey towards your present career. I am sure this is going to be very encouraging to our girls. I would like to ask our girls also to come up with questions. You can interact with madam when she narrates her story, or after the end of her narration, you can also ask her, come up with questions and make this session an interactive one. So now, on behalf of the entire Vigyan Jyoti scholars and JNV Ernakulam, I extend a hearty welcome to Madam Sino George. So over to you, Madam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stella, madam. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, yeah, let me start.
Hello, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, madam. What happened?
You lost the power?
No, I have.
Yeah,
It is
I'm
connected.
about to begin, okay? Yeah, give me a few more seconds. Can you see my screen now?
It's yet to come on, ma'am.
Okay, let me know when you can see it, okay?
Okay. Yeah, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll start now. Hi everyone, I'm Sino George, and today I'll be telling you about my journey through STEM. My first school was St. Thomas Lower Primary School in Vettikal, which was at a walking distance from my home. I spent fifth standard at the Government Girls High School, Tripunithura, and studied at Nerimangalam Navodaya for 7 years afterwards. I received my bachelor's degree in technology from College of Engineering, Chenganur, and my master's from Fairleigh Dickinson University in New Jersey, also a walking distance from my current home. Right now, I am working as a manager at the New York State Insurance Fund IT department. JNV gave me many new experiences and was a large influence in my life. It gave me a strong foundation in English, which I still use every single day. Being in the science group in 11th and 12th drove me towards STEM related subjects. The academic curriculum and the expertise of teachers in each subject helped me in scoring a good rank in the entrance examination for college. The strict scheduled routines and unfamiliar environment taught me to quickly adjust to new environments and stick with good habits. JNV made me independent, responsible, hardworking, and competitive. The extracurriculars and sports helped me become more confident and taught me how to work with many people of different backgrounds. All of these qualities are necessary for any STEM related career. After 12th, I went with the flow and took the entrance examinations for both medical and engineering. I decided to go with electronics engineering with my limited knowledge based on my dad's advice without being very sure whether I would fit into that field. College was a huge shift from my life before. There was no individual attention unlike JNV. I scored poorly during my first year. By my second year, I got a hang of the studies and the exams and did well going forward. I had no idea what I wanted my career to be. I thought of becoming a teacher or a professor because that was the only job I saw employed women doing at that time. I had no idea what a career in electronics engineering, my field of study at the time, was like. Programming courses were part of the academic curriculum as well as part of my final year project at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, but it wasn't very interesting to me, which might have been because of the lack of hands-on work and no one to guide me or tell me what to do. After college, I was very ambitious, so I moved to the US with my husband, who encouraged me in pursuit of my job. He introduced me to and guided me through the IT field, which he already knew. One reason to try for a job in the IT field was because it was a high-paying industry. I kept trying to find a job, but it was very difficult. I tried learning programming by myself, but I only understood the theory, not the practical applications. So I went back to India for 6 months and took a programming course in Ernakulam, which gave me much needed confidence in the subject. I came back to the US and enrolled in Fairleigh Dickinson University, where I pursued my master's degree with the hope of finding a job. Soon after my master's, I received 2 offers. I could accept either a graduate assistant position at the university, where I would work for a professor in exchange for free education until graduation, or a job offer from a nearby small business company. I took the job offer because I thought that experience was what I needed to get better job in the future, but also decided to continue to work for my master's by attending the classes at night. My first job was a paid internship at the Metropolitan Transportation Authority in New York, where I worked in web development while I was in my first year at Fairleigh Dickinson. I then moved on to a job as a software developer at Samco, the company I joined instead of taking the graduate assistant offer from the university. I was the only woman and the only IT person in the software development branch. My next job was as a beginner IT specialist at the New York State Insurance Fund, for which I still work for, a government job. I slowly moved up to become a project manager in the Policyholder Services branch, where I lead my own team. I was the third woman to get hired in the IT department at the Manhattan office of the agency, and the first woman to be hired in my branch in 10 years. I was the only woman on my team at the time and was pressured to be as good as or better than my male colleagues. 3 years into my job, I learned that I was going to be moved to the maintenance applications team, which would not make use of my programming skill. I was confident in my abilities, so I asked to be moved to the team which develops new software applications. My request was approved in just months, and that was the true turning point or the true starting point of my career at the company. More and more women have been hired in other IT teams as the years pass by, and recently 2 more women have been added to my team. Why IT? The good pay, the job security, and the ability to always rise in the industry were all factors that attracted me to the field. I could have been anything from a systems analyst to a cybersecurity expert working for a top company. The opportunities were and still are boundless. I started off as a web programmer where I designed websites. As a computer programmer, I developed computer applications. Network systems engineers control the internet systems of companies, while cybersecurity experts educate companies on how to protect themselves from cyber attacks. In my current job as an IT project manager, I direct my colleagues through various tasks based on the requirements from the business managers. These jobs are all high demand. IT has so many applications in the modern world. Being constantly challenged in your work makes it incredibly fulfilling. All these factors add up to a work experience that leaves you satisfied in your career. Throughout my journey in STEM, I have learned many things. When looking back, it wasn't an easy ride at all, but there were benefits. I learned to take everything in stride, the good and the bad, and to always look forward instead of staying behind. Struggle is expected in the learning process. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was young, but I ended up figuring it out later on. In my time, women around me were living as housewives, and I had no real role model to look up to. You shouldn't be worried if you don't know what you really want to become. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people who supported me constantly. I owe so much to my family, friends, teachers, and colleagues for encouraging me throughout the course of my life. I learned to stand for myself and not just take things as they were. That helped me constantly in and out of the workplace. I never stopped learning, and it opened up so many new opportunities. I'm still learning new things every single day. The lessons that you learn will stick with you forever. Improvement is never impossible. Questions?
Very impressive, ma'am.
Thank you, Stella madam.
Because as I have rightly guessed, it has not been an easy journey.
What is it, madam?
As I have said earlier, it has not been an easy journey. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. It wasn't. It was very tough.
And because of your perseverance, you kept at it. You did not give up.
No, I
So
didn't.
we are very proud of you because one of the alumnus has reached such an enviable position. We are very happy to hear that. And see, I have communicated with you after I got your number from our Shamla madam. So what struck me the most was your humility, your willingness to learn more and more. And that also came up in the presentation. So well done and keep it up. Wish you good luck. Children, you can come up with some questions. Girls, come on. See, madam knows
Yes.
Malayalam also. So you
Yes, you
need
can
not-
switch on your mic and ask questions to madam. You can interact with the madam.
Yeah, you can ask me in Malayalam. It doesn't have to be in English. Please feel free, girls.
Ma'am,
Uh-huh.
Come up.
ma'am, how do you be so positive all the time?
It was hard, but I tried to be positive because if I take my mind in a negative way, I wouldn't reach. I knew for sure I wouldn't be able to reach what I wanted. I wanted a career. That was my goal. No matter what, I wanted to be independent and I wanted a career. So I kept that spirit in my mind always. And that kept me going. It was tough.
Do you miss home?
Even now, madam, I think after being in JNV for 7 years and 4 years in engineering college and then 2 years soon after, I did not get much time
How
to be
often you
at
come
home.
back? How often
But-
how often you come back? How often
Yeah.
you pay a visit?
Yeah, for the last few years before the corona pandemic came, I used to travel every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the situation over there? It's under control? Things
Yeah,
are
now
better?
here things are better now. Last
Okay.
year, this time, here it was very bad. Now India is facing the same situation.
Yeah. We are at our worst phase now.
Yeah.
You have
First,
got over that. Yeah. The US
yeah.
has got over that. Children,
So for
more questions? Come.
Good evening, madam.
hi, പറഞ്ഞോളൂ മലയാളത്തിൽ
Ritika.
പറഞ്ഞോ.
Madam, മാത്രം just because you are a woman, അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും difference ഉണ്ടാകുന്നുണ്ടോ?
കേട്ടില്ലല്ലോ, എന്തോ ക്ലിയർ അല്ല.
Repeat that. Girl.
ഒരു വുമൺ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രം ജസ്റ്റ് ബിക്കോസ് യു ആർ എ വുമൺ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഇൻഡിഫറൻസസ് ഫേസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
ഉണ്ട്, ശരിക്കും ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇറ്റ്സ് ലൈക്ക് എവറിഡേ വർക്കിലൊക്കെ അതിൻ്റെതായ ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടീസ് ഉണ്ട്. ദർ ആർ പീപ്പിൾ ഹു എസ്പെഷ്യലി മെയിൽ കൊളീഗ്സ് നമ്മളെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നവരും ഉണ്ട്, സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യാത്തവരും ഉണ്ട്. സോ അതെല്ലാം ത്രൈവ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് യു നീഡ് ദറ്റ് ഗ്രേസ്. സോ it's difficult, but I'm going through, and I have been going through. When I joined there for the first time, things were pretty bad. Then there was a woman leader who came as the CIO of the company. She was there in that picture with me when I was showing the slide. So when she joined, I was able to talk to her because I felt like I wasn't included here and there, so
So
I
she
talked
brought
to
in
her.
some change.
Yes, I talked to her, and from there change happened for good. You should be able to stand up and talk for yourself when you feel like things aren't going the way it should be, or where you are not included, or your abilities are not being seen by others, or whether you are not treated right, if you are not getting the respect you deserve, you should always be stand up for yourself, be bold and talk.
Madam,
That's a very good piece of advice.
Madam, there might have been people who are holding back from going abroad to pursue your dreams. How did you deal with that?
I cannot hear. കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല.
Can you
Repeat that.
talk a little bit slow, Neeraja?
There might
You
have
are
been
very
people
fast.
who have held you back from going abroad to pursue your dreams. How did you deal with it?
How
I
did
think
I?
she.
What did she mean, madam? I didn't hear it.
I think she. What was anything holding you back from going to the US?
No, not really. No, I was ready to go because I thought, that this country would give me more opportunities and exciting opportunities and a better living.
And
The
it
only
indeed did.
Yes, it did. Only part I would miss is my home and my family.
Okay.
But you can't gain everything in life. To gain something in life, you have to lose something.
Actually, we thought that the gender discrimination it exists only in India.
No.
It
I
is
I
there
wasn't.
in the US also.
Yes, it is there. And you know what, madam? When it comes to the leadership and all, I think India is way better in accepting women leaders.
Oh,
See, think of Indira Gandhi. She was the prime minister years before, right? But
yeah.
for America to get a female vice president,
It took
it
centuries.
took centuries. So that situation is there in every area in the field. See,
Okay,
even
okay,
in
okay.
our IT company meetings, mostly it will be one or two women. So it's
Okay,
like
okay.
it's it's difficult.
Yeah, so you have to fight against all odds.
Yes. And there is an extra effort that you have to come up and
Uh,
you have to prove yourself everywhere.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
needs a
yeah.
lot of, and there is that sense of acceptance, including us, is not for every person. So the support that you may get from some people you may get it, but not from everyone.
So
But
you
things
have
are
become
changing.
US citizen now?
Not yet, madam. We have applied for it and yet to apply for the yet to attend the interview for the citizenship.
Oh, it's also a process. There are lots of restrictions too. Huh?
Yeah. And also, we did not try for it until recently. So
Okay, okay.
during the last election, we got bit concerned on that. If Trump wins, what would be the changes that is going to happen? So that's when we tried applying. We did not apply, but before that, we had the green card,
Okay, okay.
and we still have the green card, which is the permanent residentship in the country, which is good enough for most of the benefits.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Girls?
Hima.
Come on, Hima.
Hima, switch on your
Parayu.
mic. Anchal.
I firstly appreciate you where you're able to thrive and shine being as a woman. So I'm proud you're a girl of vision. So basically, a woman like you in the condition, how did you manage your financial crisis? How did you make your parents support? Like many of them will tell, "Oh, you're a woman, no need," like that. And how did you face all these circumstances, thrive and shine?
Of financial support during my studies while I was in India, or after coming back to this country?
While you were
While there was in India, that was difficult, Mola. I remember, to be frank, I did my medical and engineering entrance examination. So I had a desire towards taking medical entrance one more time because I had that admiration for white coat. So, and being a service industry, I thought of becoming a physician at that during that time. But when I asked my parents and um, and when I asked them whether I can try the medical entrance test one more time to get a chance for medical seat, then I still remember my grandma saying, "Don't let her study too much. It will be hard to get her married off. So let her do some degree course and be finished with that."
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
that is the attitude. That is the
that
attitude.
was the attitude,
And
and
it
my
is still
parents.
prevalent. It is still there.
I know it is very hard, and I couldn't. That time I was very young, and I just went with what everybody would say, and then it was like whether to with the medical rank I would have got to nursing, and then there was like thinking of nursing or engineering, which one. I couldn't think like what this is like nursing. I can at least vision what the woman would be doing. But engineering, I couldn't vision myself electronics engineering or computer. I had no idea. But again, with the parents' advice and things like that, and how a nursing job was considered during those times, it wasn't given the integrity or the admiration that it deserves, right? Even now. So they directed towards me to do engineering. And I still remember I had the choice of mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering in the government colleges, whereas I would get into IHRD colleges for electronics and computer engineering with a little higher pay. At that time, I fought. I said there is no way I would do civil or electrical or mechanical. If I go, I want to go electronics with my limited knowledge. I fought for it. Otherwise, forget about it. Yeah, you have to, sometimes because I had a feeling that the civil engineering, mechanical, and electrical, I may not fit in because I did not have any imagination abilities. So, and the graphics abilities. So I was thinking I may not fit in civil engineering, and mechanical seemed too hard for me. It's all with assumptions that I completely said I'm not going to do those courses. And
Did
even
you
after
enjoy your electronics course?
what is it, madam?
Did you enjoy your electronics course? I mean,
Not
engineering in electronics.
to some extent, but the thing was, it was mostly exam oriented, the theory. So the courses were interesting to me, and it involved a lot of mathematics. Mathematics was always my favorite subject anyway. So that was okay. But in the first year, I had tough time because it had civil, I mean, graphics, mechanical paper, electrical paper. Those three were as I expected or as I assumed. I had difficulty with those three subjects. I scored poorly in those three. And as the second year came, the subjects were more electronics engineering oriented. So I did better on that. And if you ask me if I had I used to enjoy the lab work, but not to the extent of fond, deeply interested or something like that. Yeah. And then even after coming here, there was this question of whether to go for masters and the financial aspects of it. Everything was in question, but I made sure I have to work. I wanted to work. That was in me. I couldn't sit home and relax. I'm not such a person who could do that. Some are okay, maybe some may be okay with it because you have to prioritize what your interests are and what you want to. I wanted a career, no matter what. How to get there? I kept asking for it until I got it. Actually, I had a break of 5 years after graduating from college, and in between those 5 years, I did my masters. So 5 years I did not work. Even when looking back, I lost those 5 years. But you can't get everything again.
Okay, 1 minute, madam. I request all the students to switch on your camera for a while. We have to take a snap. Sorry for the interruption. All the students, please switch on your cam. I think I am audible to all of you. Students, please. All of you, please switch on your cam for a while, because I want to take a snap. Okay, one by
with camera.
Madam, I just told them to switch on the camera. Those who have
Yes, I understand.
camera facility,
My camera is not switching on. That's what I'm trying.
Okay, madam. We were seeing you. Now only something happened to your camera. Okay, all of you, please. Not the mic, the camera. Make it fast. We have no time to waste. Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, you can continue now. Students, you can interact with the madam. Please come with your questions.
Good evening, madam.
Nia.
Are the jobs in IT field really stressful?
No. But I think in India, the work culture is a bit more tough. So maybe, especially these work culture, I think even in India or in here, the way it works is initial times are very high. But as you move up, things will get better.
Okay, madam.
And also here, the good thing about my job is I'm working for a government. So comparatively, my stress is less when compared to like high-tech companies, I would say. So, but in India, I doubt like whether there are IT opportunities in government, right? It may be tough.
It is very less. It is very less, madam.
Yeah. So
government service, it is very less. But nowadays, little bit improving.
Okay.
Good evening, madam.
So it depends.
Vaishnavi.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask Vaishnavi.
Madam, what was the most inspiring thing in your life?
Most inspiring. അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ചോദിക്കുമ്പോ meaning what motivated me?
Yes, madam.
I would say independence. I always feel a difference when you are on your own. Independent, not to ask around for any of your, especially on financial aspects, I would say. Especially think of in a girl's perspective. We have to be on our own. We should have that independence.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, പറഞ്ഞോളൂ.
Ani Sonia.
Ma'am, is there someone who inspired you to take up this career? Someone specific who inspired you?
Yeah, when I think of my Amma, Amma did her bachelor's while she was young, and she was so, even now she regrets that she didn't get a job because the circumstances. She was very good in her studies, good academics, but the circumstances didn't let her get into a career. So when she raised me, even when I was very little, she was my motivator. He was the one who motivated me to take now the entrance exam, who encouraged me to take all the struggles for good, for a better future. And even after I got married, she kept behind me until I find the job. Because for her also, it was a dream for her to see me as a working woman. And on top of that, my husband, when I told him I want a job, so he gave me all the support that I needed. When it comes to, taking care of my kids, it wasn't easy. Without his support, I wouldn't do it. And when I still remember when I got the state job, my second boy was just 9 months old. And during my previous job, which was right near my home, I was doing my master's and doing this job and was able to do some work from home, taking care of my second son. But when I got the state job, I was kind of, that separation. I had to go to New York, which requires 1.5 hours. In the train, the commute. But my husband was there. He said, no matter what, we'll send him to the daycare and he will support. Even now, when I think back, if it wasn't him on that place, I wouldn't have been here. I would have still might have been struggling with my job for what I wanted, a stress-free, in terms of stress-free, and you don't know. I might have been still struggling. I do not know, but with that state job, and I could handle the family and my career very well. There was continuous support throughout. We cannot do it by ourselves. And the same with after I joined the company, I had a very tough time with the bosses that I had during my initial times. And there was a time when I was switched around between bosses, and one of that he was also in that one of the picture. He kept me. I cannot explain how he encouraged me. When he pushed me to a project lead team of the rest of the team with male colleagues, he was like, he just considered me as his own daughter, and he said I can do it. When he told me I will be moved on to that, I asked him whether he thinks I can do it. He said he said I could. So he was able to find the abilities that I have will help me. But he expected challenges in there, but he was able to pass on his responsibilities to me before he retired, and I took it from there.
Good evening, madam.
Jyotika.
Yeah, Paranyolu.
You can ask.
Yes, madam. Madam, in our life, there are many turning points, and we need to take many important decisions in it. And what was the hardest decision you have ever made in your career life?
Hardest decisions in my career life. അങ്ങനെ ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ എനിക്കിപ്പോ അങ്ങനെ ഹാർഡസ്റ്റ് ഡിസിഷൻ എനിക്ക് കരിയറിൽ അങ്ങനെ ഹാർഡായിട്ട് ചലഞ്ചിങ് ആയിരുന്നു ഈച്ച് ഏരിയ. ബട്ട് ഹാർഡസ്റ്റ് ഡിസിഷൻ മേക്കിംഗ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ആ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ജോബ് കിട്ടിയപ്പം എനിക്ക് മറ്റേ അടുത്തുള്ള ജോലി ഇട്ടിട്ട് പോവാനായിട്ട് the motherhood, the feeling of a mother was preventing me from taking up that. So അതൊരു ഇത്തിരി emotionally difficult ആയിരുന്നു. And there was not my family wasn't around here to support me. And here it's very common, like we send kids to the daycare and all, but in India it's not the way, right? We have to be 100% on that. So that emotional thing was very strong in me, I would say. So it was very hard. That switching to the state job, that period was very hard for me, and I struggled, and I still remember my mom came here for 6 more months to take care of my second one because I was constantly crying about it. I wanted the job, but I was sad about sending him to the daycare. So she came. She was there to support me everywhere, whenever she could. She came for 6 more months. She came here during my deliveries to take care of them, like first 1.5 months to 2 months. And then when I got this state job, for me to get started with it, she stayed with me for 6 months.
Good evening, madam.
So because your mother wanted to have the job, no? I think she saw that her dreams are realized through you.
Yes, of course. And also
sense of fulfillment.
Yeah, and also she had the feeling that, I struggled so much staying away from family, going to Navodaya. That 7 years of my life was there, and at the end, there should be a result, right? If I'm following up what my mother followed, the purpose is not guaranteed. So for the reason that we all together work for, to be away from home, study for those 7 years in the Navodaya school, that was all for a purpose. If I don't work, if I don't have a career, that is not met. So I had to get there. And she was my constant support. And my dad was there too. But from the dad's perspective, he was always worried whether my family life would be okay. So she was like, even though he wished for it, he wasn't able to push me harder. That's all Indian culture thing is there. That's the
one thing, see, madam, you have done your electronics here, and switching to IT, was it difficult, or here I think it's not possible? If you do your bachelor's in electronics, I think your master's also should be in electronics. And switching is easy there? That flexibility is there? Your master's, MS, Master of Science, you have done it.
Yeah, Master of Science in Computer Science.
It is in IT, no?
It is in IT. That switching wasn't harder for me. And I also got some credits from electronics engineering because we had courses in computer as well. So that also helped. Here, the switching is not hard at all. Even if I have to go for a medical school now, all I need to see is start from scratch.
It's possible.
It is possible. It is. That's the beauty of here. I think
somebody was trying to raise a question.
Anagha.
Yeah. Lots of flexibility. Anagha.
Yes.
Anagha.
Yes, Anagha.
Yes, madam.
You can ask now. Anagha.
Good evening, madam. Madam, could you please suggest us some of the things that we need to take care while choosing a career?
Choosing a career in which industry?
In IT industry.
Okay. You know what? When you get into the field of computer science major, those 4 years of college, make use of the maximum lab opportunities, I would say, and do involve in programming. Programming is the one which is a high demand job, and that will take you further in the career. But programming should be your concentration. Or there are other areas in IT, but that is of not high demand and they are not high paying also. So I would say, if you have the skill, if you are good at mathematics, if you have the analytical mind, you should do well in programming. And always, you should be willing to learn new technologies. This programming language is also advance as time passes by. So you should have the willingness to keep up with the technology, keep up with the programming languages that comes up, and have the challenging mind. Programming is I would say, start with programming. If you go for computer science, give priority to programming. That will get you started. From there you can move on further, but the programming should be the best one. And other areas are there, but I don't know how an entry level position would, even in India, I don't know. Here it is possible, but in India, I don't know whether it is the entry level positions in cyber security or network systems engineering and so on. I don't know the opportunities in India on that as a fresher. My brother also went to Navodaya. He followed me. So he went to Navodaya and he did not pass. Yeah, my brother did go to the same Navodaya after 3 years. Younger brother. So what he did was, he followed me to Navodaya, and then he wanted to follow me in my college also. So when he did the entrance, he didn't pass the first time. So he tried the second time. He took the entrance coaching in Pala. And the second time he got for electronics engineering in Kallupara. And then what he did was the same way. He started trying for IT jobs afterwards, because it didn't matter which trade you take for the engineering, there were opportunities in IT for everyone. So he started taking the placement test, and then I think his first and the current job is in TCS. He's working in Info Park, Cochin. So he also started as a programmer, now into project manager.
Someone was raising a question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, tell me.
Ma'am, what is your greatest career weakness, and what mistakes did you make early in your career?
What I learned from here after I started my career. See, I had difficulty in understanding the concepts in the technology, but at the same time, I hesitated to ask questions. I thought I will have to figure out everything on my own. I felt weak, or I felt bad that to say I do not know something, and that wasn't a good thing. I realized later on I could have started on that earlier. When I had difficulty to find something, to understand some concepts, I should have came forward on that and should have asked questions to others earlier. But at that time, I was feeling inferior. I was feeling inferior inside. So I thought, okay, it wasn't okay to ask questions. It was from my the boss that supported me constantly. From him, I learned it is okay to ask questions, and it is okay to say I do not know when you do not know. It's okay. I learned it very later. I should have known that earlier. And now, every single day in the meetings, I hear people saying if they don't know, they say they don't know. But they go back, refer to it, and come back if they can figure out on their own, or they would ask others. It's okay. You don't need to know everything. And it's okay to ask. Ask for help. It's okay. That's what I learned.
Yeah, a very valid piece of advice.
Yes.
Because they should open up. Normally, our girls, they should come forward and ask questions. Or students in nowadays itself.
Yeah. That madam, I would say there is some part of that in me still, but I'm trying to improve. But
So
I
because,
came. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, Gary, go on.
Yes, we have to come out of that comfort zone. We are always like, okay, I cannot ask. No, come out of that, be bold. And especially, it's okay to ask questions. And at the same time, if we are not given the opportunity that we deserve, ask for it. Ask. Don't feel inferior. Don't never feel inferior.
Ma'am.
Very pertinent. And the need of the hour too. Come on. Somebody was raising a question.
Ma'am, what was the best advantage that you got from Navodaya to achieve your career?
It's the persistence and the hardworking ethics in me. Hardworking from, I think, from the day I was born, it was there. And when I went to the Navodaya environment, the hardworking part had to be double, triple, or 100 times. I cannot explain. With the tight routines, with the limited time, managing everything together, and your work ethics matters wherever you go. You can have the potential and you can have the intelligence, but if you do not work hard, that may not take you where you want to be. It would work the best other way. If you don't have that much potential, but if you have the willingness to work hard, that will take you further. That is a quality that helps.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well said.
Ma'am.
Parayum.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, why you think to go to USA for your continued studies?
Yeah, you know what? I got married 2 months prior to my bachelor's degree. While I was in Chenganur Engineering College, towards the end of the last semester, 2 months prior to my exams and all, I got married. Then I stayed there for 2 months. My husband came to US. I stayed there, studied, finished my project at BSSC, took all the exams, and then came here.
Thank you, ma'am.
So yeah, that's how it happened. So I did not want to include all those minor details in the slides, but I'm glad that you asked me. That's how it all fell in that way. So I had to come. Yeah.
Ma'am, suggest me that how can we choose and how can we know when which area we are strong when we are choosing our career?
Yeah, that is still a tough question. I would say, you should get opportunities like this to know what are the career options available for you after 12th. See, we did not have that. For us, it was like, okay, you go try medical entrance, being in the science stream, try medical entrance and engineering entrance. So most of us, there were few exceptions, but most of us went with the flow and took that, but without having much idea. Medical field, you get a grasp of it because from the society you have a small understanding of that. But when it comes to STEM or to business related courses, economics, finance, you should get someone to guide you, I would say, someone to mentor you, to know which area may fit for you. If you can get that, that would be very good. Even then, you may not be able to figure out. Here the education system is different. If, for example, my older one, he is in first year into college. He has no idea. He's just like me, no idea what he wants to pursue. So he is taking several subjects like business, finance, computer science, languages, chemistry, whatever he can in this first year. And he's trying to eliminate the subjects that he doesn't find interesting. And the next year he can decide which one he may better fit in. You may not get 100% sometimes, but there are students who may get that. My second one, he's different. He is into computers. So he at this point he knows for sure he's going to pursue something in computer. So it all depends, our personality, our what should I say, our skill sets of like what you want to do. If you want to do something service oriented in the medical area, that would be towards that side. If you want to do like scientists, the difference now is you have, unlike our times, you have internet, right? So even for the STEM, you can search for each area and what each job is all about. Get some understanding, get some ideas from the YouTube videos in those areas, and try to, with your best assumptions, try to think of something you may fit in. Or if you, in your family or your teachers, friends, or from alumni, if you can get a mentor or someone who can guide you what the subject is, things like that, that may give you some idea. I will not say you that will give you 100%, but some idea where you may have to start.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let me ask you a question. So do you girls have any mentoring or guidance from the school now? Because our times it wasn't there. I mean, career related mentoring or guidance, is it there or no?
No, ma'am.
Just
Actually, we don't have such a post.
Yeah.
Wherever possible, we arrange some career guidance, some counseling sessions by experts.
Okay,
But
okay.
still, see, the dominant thought in the minds of parents and children are go for engineering or medical field.
I know. That is the trend over there. And that is where in India, if you consider, like, those are the two areas that you get high paying jobs, right? So naturally, parents will lean towards it more than the interest of the kids. But here, things are slightly different on that perspective. Depending on the potential of the kids and depending on the interest of the kids, they're ready to take jobs they would find interesting.
And you can easily switch there from one to another. And many subjects you can take, whatever combinations you want also.
Yes.
So that flexibility we don't have here.
Yeah, that flexibility is not there. Plus, once you get into that, quitting that is not an option. Even if it's here or there, Quitting is not an option, but there changing the stream is very difficult. That's true.
So that is what probably many are not going for a career of their choice out of compulsion, or as you said, that they just go with the flow.
They just go with the flow. But madam, sometimes, if I think of mine, like I went with the flow and it worked, right? So sometimes just go with the flow, because if you held back
You
on
cannot
the case,
resist it.
yeah, if you held back on that one, you are again going behind. So, and I hear from these generation kids who did not go with the flow, and now they're like they don't know what to do. There is a struggle there, I'm seeing. They went with their interest areas, but when it comes to pursuing higher studies or finding a job, they're finding it difficult. So I would suggest, especially I can think of the girls who are in Navodaya, or the kids in general who are in Navodaya, in terms of financial stability also. Let them go for this medical and
Yes, they should go for some safer
yes,
options.
yes. There is no, they don't have this option of interest much, right? They have to think positively on the other end, or their financial aspect of it, and come forward and take this challenge, and they can do it. These kids are all bright kids who got admission to the school, right? So they all will be able to do it. They can do it. And always, even if I say I can, you all can do it, always have in mind your skills, your interest, and where you stand. See, we all have different potentials, right? A potential of a top scoring candidate versus someone in the middle and someone at the bottom is different. That we have to have that realization always. So we have to think in terms, take in terms of that, and then have a clear idea of your potential and skill, where you will stand, and work hard. Those things you have to keep in mind. It's easy to say anything is possible, but that's not true. You have to think your skills, your potential, everything matters. Hard work will take you, but on top of that, your potential, your, the skills that may vary from one person to another. So find an area where you would fit in better.
Yeah, they have to set the realistic goals based on their potential.
That you have to be realistic. You have to be. I was also able to figure out that, like, when I think of like working for a Google or Facebook company, I know the expectations of technology level or understanding of technology were the expectations of the company would be. And I thought of myself in there. I felt like, no, I may not fit in there. Instead, take one that is challenging at your level and satisfying at your level. At the same time, gives you a decent salary. You have to be realistic. That you have to be.
Yeah, it
That's
comes out of your experience. Yeah.
Yes.
Any more questions?
And one more thing, always maintain your scores. That is very important. Your 10th grade, your 12th grade, your engineering, your masters, everything. Even when I applied for the state job here, I got the score 100 in the ranking system because of my scores. That matters. So always be sure you don't go bad on that. You have to score high. Work hard.
So be consistent.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Any more questions,
studying
guys?
or reading?
What was that? Somebody was asking Chetana or someone?
Chetana, go on. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I am in class 9. When we are studying or reading, we will get sleep. What And that time, what we have to do, ma'am?
That's a good question. You know what? I'm the other way, Mole. I will never get sleep
Oh.
if I have to study. So I never experienced what that problem. So I'm not a person who can tell you how to deal with it.
Good evening, madam.
Okay, parayu.
Ma'am, I'm a student of PMB Ernakulam. Some of us are interested in reaching to this level. So, for achieving this, which agencies help us to study or work abroad?
Okay, so coming to the US, I think, or to any other countries have for accepting international students to the universities here, there are different formalities to that, which I'm not sure, but you may have to dig into it to find out, I would say, because the way I came here was different, right? And I have colleagues who came to US, even working with me now. They are all on H1 visas from the companies in India. So the best way to come to the country, get into a top tech firm in India, take it from there, come to US, do your masters here. If you want to do masters here, that will be the best option. There is, coming directly to here and taking masters here, financially it is going to be a big amount, I would say. So I would suggest the option of getting a job there. Have a stable job there first. Take it from there to options of coming here through that job. And if you want to study here, thereafter study or stick on to the job here, stay here, then take it. Best way, get there a very good job in a high-tech company. And look for opportunities from the company. So maybe some company may not be able to give that option. Then try for other options and things like that. It may or may not work, but keep trying. I have seen many who were enthusiastic to come here had made it through the H1 visa.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yeah, madam, it is time to wind up. It's already late.
Okay.
Madam, also.
If you
madam.
have any questions, I have my email ID in here, so you can feel free to email me.
Okay.
Okay.
I will share your email ID in the group, madam. VIGYAN JYOTI group, I will share.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today, madam. I really appreciate it, and I hope the presentation and the interaction was somewhat helpful. I don't know how much, but
It was very helpful. It was very helpful.
Very
And the interactive session that followed, the way you have communicated with the girls also. The girls also, they opened up, they come up with a lot of questions today.
Okay.
They have come up with a lot of questions, more than the normal thing.
Okay.
So I'm very happy that it has been very good.
Thank you, madam. And
So thank you so much for. What time is it there now?
It's 10:35.
The time there now.
10:35 in the morning.
Okay.
Getting ready for the day.
Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone. And good luck, girls.
Thank you very much.
Everybody have good luck, okay? You'll do good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To say that to you, Madam, I am here to say the formal vote of thanks to you. So when I have gone through those slides and listened to you, I remembered that great words of our Paulo Coelho in Alchemist.
Thank you,
If
ma'am.
you have a strong aspiration, the entire universe will be there to help you. It happened in your life. Your mother, your family, and your friends, everybody was helping you a lot. That shows because of the hard work done by you. And the most important thing which I liked in your interaction is ready to ask questions and accept what you don't know. This is a great lesson and advice to our girl children. Normally, they hesitate to ask questions. So, while listening to you, we understood how a village girl from Ernakulam reached such a higher position in the US, that too in the government service. Really, it is an inspiration to all our children. And I was also very much excited to listen to. So I can imagine what was going through the minds of our children. So very lively you interacted, madam, and you are very down to earth, very patiently listened to all the questions and answered them very nicely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let me extend our sincere thanks to our principal, madam. She took a lot of effort to realize this program. Thank you very much, madam. Now, one more word to our FCSA, Shalini madam and Sriram. Those two were working from yesterday itself to make this program to reality. How to stream this in YouTube and how to record it. And thank you very much. And I thank all our Vigyan JYOTI children. And I am sure that all of you are inspired and all of you will work for the goal. You will set a goal today itself and you will work for that. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good
have a
day.
good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
So, bye. Students, you can leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, children. You can leave now. It was a wonderful session.
Sure.